Hearing none, so moved. With that, Secretary Ross, do you have a comment?
No, sir. I agree with it.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Saw your light on there, Wilbur. I'm always ready to recognize you. With that, let me turn to the acting administrator, Robert Lightfoot. You've got a big job ahead of you. Let me go to the Secretary of Commerce, Wilbur Ross.
You need to turn yours off.
Yes, sir.
Through NOAA operates, Commerce through NOAA operates 16 satellites, 11 for civil use, mostly weather and earth mapping, and 5 for the Air Force. And we've had a lot of partnerships with other countries and with some private sector. And I've been intrigued that in low gravity and no gravity environments, materials take on different properties from what they have here on Earth. And I wonder, is that an area that you think is ripe for commercialization, or are there other segments of space that are more ripe so that we really can have public-private partnerships in meaningful dollars? Because so far the monies we've gotten really haven't been big dollars in the partnerships.
Can I answer that? That's a very exciting area because we have so many requests as part of our commercialization of the Dream Chaser program outside of NASA from pharmaceutical companies and building new materials in space, growing crystals that are not possible under Earth conditions, but microgravity allows you to do that. So there are so many possible industrial potential, including 3D printing in space, that can allow you to do other things that you couldn't do industrially on Earth. So it is a very exciting area that I believe it's going to be a big economic stimulus eventually.
I would just add that if you look broadly within what the commercial activities are going to be, a continuation of what we're doing today is very much what's going to happen in the near term. So we're going to have observation satellites and communication satellites. That's obviously going to be a key commercial customer. But the next one for Blue Origin is going to be space tourism. So within the next 18 months, we're going to be launching humans into space. And this won't be astronauts, people that have been trained and specialized within an area, but these are going to be everyday citizens. So that by itself is going to open up new ways of actually thinking about commerce into space, which is going to be very exciting. Beyond that, as we reduce the overall cost of getting to space, many of those things come to play, such as space power, manufacturing in space, and using a lot of and exploiting a lot of the resources that are actually in space today. So I think once we get to those first 3 levels, then we're going to be able to actually go a little bit further and faster in terms of actually getting higher economic activity in that front.
I do believe strongly that once you put people, massive amounts of people in low Earth orbit and beyond, the space enterprise will proliferate in ways that we can't even imagine right now.
Very well said. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. If you have nothing else?
No, that was just been shut off again. that was my big set of questions. The other one, though, was when we have international partnerships, how do you modulate it so that we make sure we keep control and we keep our leadership position as opposed to diluting it with these third parties?
Secretary Tillerson has a very robust set of rules called ITAR, which prevent the proliferation of technology to countries outside the United States.
No, I didn't mean the export of technology. We have BIS, so I'm well aware of the limits on that. I was talking about if somebody pays very small rent to use a space on a space station and develops a product, how do we get some benefit out of it rather than it being the third party or the international partner?
Well, if I can try to answer that, because we are right now in the process of working with United Nations, as I referred earlier. They signed an agreement with us to do a mission in 2021 with 84 countries who cannot afford access to space. There are a lot of universities and experimentation lined up to be included in that mission. Everybody pays a small part to be part of that. But we are managing the architecture. We are managing who can get on there, what's going to be the outcome, IP management rights, and those are evolving. But we have a tangible example right now, right around the corner for that mission that's going to be very interesting to prove that. But I am excited because it's the U.S. leadership. It's our airplane, American space plane, taking these nations and experiments in space. So we will have more say on this than if we let somebody else do, like Chinese set up a space station, free access, and everybody goes there, and we have no control. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary.